see if I can get this. They won't double skull. Well, rip me.
Oh! Oh well.
Robbie, I wonder what Robbie's gonna blitz.
Now the ball's
God damn.
Well,
Okay, I think we found our clip to the match. Right, and Keith with the ball in scoring range.
yeah, but if this ends up doing some big damage,
Oh my god.
Fuck off! Holy shit! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
oh my gosh.
That's so awful. What a nice piece. Wow.
R.I.P.
Oh man.
We totally cursed this. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Lion and Bear Report. I'm Space Lion.
I'm Kodiak.
Welcome to your Week 6 recap, Division 3B. And I was really thinking, we're later than this, but we're only at Week 6.
Yeah.
How was your Week 6?
Bad. So another tie. And I mean, the worst of it was just a lot of damage incoming. Nothing too bad in terms of the long term of the team. But my next match, which was, so I played Nurgle against Nurgle this week. I'm playing against Nurgle again this week. I have two Nurgle warriors are out. One that's level 4, one that's level 5.
Oh no!
So that's just a lot of good stuff out.
Yeah.
And then I have two Rotters out, and it's like, well, Rotters are just Rotters.
Sure.
But it means I'm at an 11-man team.
Oh my gosh! Against other Nurgle, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna have to buy a Rotter, just at least go with 12.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be bad. There are games where you can survive being down Nurgle warriors, against agility. You can be well, fine, it's making me cheaper, right? Mm-hmm. The right ones are out, but it's just gonna be really bad. So it's just gonna be a survival game.
Yeah. Well, and that match was the title match, right? Or
for best best team in REBBL.
Best team in REBBL, yeah.
So yeah, that was a push. I did not claim that.
Yeah.
I think fairly.
And that team looks really stacked. I took a look at it.
You mean which team? His team?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I have the better team.
Well, you don't have the belt to prove it.
No. No, because I definitely don't have the best. Actually, my armor was fine. It broke at a very normal rate. I was inflicting KOs. He was inflicting casualties.
Yeah.
So,
and
that
the regen wasn't firing.
Yeah. Well, and it actually did save, I think, my killer Pestigore from dying.
Oh.
So it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
It didn't. It's the MNGs just stuck.
Oh, jeez.
But
how's your other Nurgle?
Oh yeah, my clan match. That I won. That was great. That was against Chaos.
Oh, nice.
And that was the third win. That was our third game for the Blitz clan. That was our third win of the week. So we won the week with 2 games left to go. So that was, if I had to pick one to win, it would have been that one, because it's my main season's already just maybe I'll stick into REL 2.
Yeah.
Clan is a little more pressure to actually need to perform.
Well, yeah, the clinching match. I mean, with 2 to go, that's not a ton of pressure, but yeah, there's still
But I'd lost last week. And so
yeah.
It was nice to come back and be and I'm new. I'm the one new guy in the clan, so it's nice to be I can actually contribute something.
And I think your first clan match was a mirror match.
Yeah,
this one...
against returning Nurgle. This was against Chaos. Against second season Chaos. I mean, clans will be a little strange, but they were definitely more developed.
Yeah. Well,
And
congrats.
Thanks. I believe you've been playing some Imperium. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, Rebel Imperium's got me sucked back in. I had just, I don't know, I've been itching to play some more Blood Bowl, but not Clan, not COL, not any of the other side leagues. And also just been like starting to like drift back into like Madden Ultimate and those sort of card collecting, never ending fiestas. And it's like, I can't do that. But if I have that energy, might as well put it to Rebel Imperium, which just started up a new season. And they have a new like kind of twist to the setup, which is called Conclave. And what that does is, you, after everyone's set up their decks, there are some hidden objectives or hidden blessings or curses that you may have triggered in how you set up your team. So like if you set up your team with a bunch of skilled players, like having, you know, skills, elites or that sort of thing, that might incur the wrath of the Conclave, and you'll get a level 2 curse, which means you roll for that, and there are cards that are curse cards that you will roll for, and then you'll have to apply the effects of those, or blessings in the case of like doing something that the Conclave approves of. And I think the idea behind it, trying to balance out or add a bit more fun for those people that don't have super strong decks all the time.
Right.
And those that do, try to balance those out a little bit more. Because it seems like that at least early on, the Conclave's like, yeah, you're bringing way too much oomph into this like week 2 development tournament. Let's tone it down. Here's a curse 2 for you or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's been really interesting. I also got into they did a opening tournament, which like they ended up doing 4 versions of. It's similar to like a Trophy or Trollover, where you have like special pieces, except different from that, you don't have to level them up. You start with pre-made versions of assassins. So they're making assassins great again. With this tournament, you get, out of 10, you pick 2 pre-made assassins. So I have one that has Stand Firm, what was it? Stand Firm, multi-block, double move.
Multi-block is obscene on an assassin. It makes an actually good piece.
Yeah. I think that was it. I might be mixing them up, but I definitely have one with multi-block, which is really fun. And then definitely one with Stand Firm and double move up. And it's ridiculous. You get points for what those assassins do, as well as winning the match. So like I tied a match that I almost lost, and I ended up like with more points than I played metal first, and my assassin had like a 50% stab rate and was just like stabbing things left and right. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was nice because it reminded me of the early days of playing Imperium, where you weren't as pressured to like win and set up your team perfectly. You just wanted to come in with kind of a plan, and even if you lost the match, like had some fun with like stabbing stuff or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's my Imperium pitch, and
nice.
We'll see. I'm trying to take it slow, other than the tournament. The tournament's kind of play 7 matches or whatever, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, well, let's get into the week. Actually have a new segment for everyone, and what we're calling RIP 3B. So, as the sad music entails, or brings us into the mood, there was a lot of deaths this week. And I think we noticed this early on, right? Like, I can't remember what the first match was, or first couple matches.
But we came, but they came out the gate with people dying.
Yeah, and it just ended even a bigger bang than the rest, but we'll get to that. So here's again, a little memorial to the players that we lost. Goblins.deck lost I don't know, I guess not near legend, but halfway to legend in Triform Cutter. None of us are sad to see that piece go.
No.
That thing is super annoying. A market purchase, I believe, but all the same.
That's right.
Yeah, all the same was a menace.
Yeah.
Then Talk Show Terror lost to Flesh Golem. Not as much experience or development, I should say, but I think anyone will tell you these Flesh Golems are very tough to level.
Yeah. And it actually did get the MVP that match, so it would have been at 13.
Okay, yeah, I stole these from last week's sheets.
Sure.
Yes, wow, even more brutal. Then we had Warpstone and Rock and Roll, and this happened pretty early on in their match. Hurt Cobain biting it, and that was, the Blitzers are really the heart of the team, in a lot of ways, and at least
they're the piece where they have, like, without having general strength and mutation access on them, you can make actually really good pieces, not like interesting pieces, like
right,
actually really good pieces.
Yeah. And speaking of interesting pieces, Dyed Bag Daryl, which is unconfirmed.
Currently nickel.
Yes, yeah, unconfirmed retirement, but we're anticipating the retirement of Dyed Bag Daryl, who lived a fun and fast life with Frenzy and Block. But yes, rough match for the Underworld. Dead and Scoring It, which I'll cover this later on when we get to their match. Tomb Robber, which was a very nice goal, nearly to their penultimate level. And that, was an unfortunate death.
Yeah.
The Farm Animals Mark II took a couple deaths in the Warrior department.
Brutal.
Which was, very tough. Tough to swallow, I imagine. This wasn't even all the damage in that match either, but this was obviously the most telling, and would have been the worst losses for the week.
Not what we're about to see.
Yep. Which is the Romanian Rebels losing a very nice Witch Elf, a decent Blitzer, one that was about to level, and alignment with some development there. And
the Witch Elf is the real tragedy here.
Yeah.
She was apparently she was destined apparently for a leap, which would have really been like a key missing piece on this team. That ability to get into the cage.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Wasn't too far off from it, but
and was very good otherwise, right? Because the agility meant she could do it via dodges instead.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Romanian Rebels, and I think again this is another instance where there's much more damage than the deaths that we're seeing. I think Forlorn Hope is what I'm anticipating to be a retirement, because that was a strength bust, I think.
Yes, that they have been retired and replaced already.
Okay.
I believe.
And so that brings us to the not quite sad deaths of Borit Brander and Boomer Esiason.
Mercy killings, really. I keep hating these pieces you build, because you did this last season where it's dirty play and guard, and then they keep dying.
Yeah, well,
I love it every time.
Yeah, well, you've inspired me to put them in harm's way, and boy did they. This one, just take it on the chin. So, that does it for this week in RIP 3B. I don't know if we'll have another edition of this unless we have just as many deaths like that. I mean, there was over 10 developed pieces, including some near legends, and yeah, some really team-defining pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else to add to that, or are we ready to roll on?
Just get into it.
All right, and back to your regular scheduled recap. We've got Ace Trucking Co. winning 2-1 over Goblins.deck.
Yeah, so we already talked. So, as you can see, Triform Cutter dead. We already talked about that. I will point out there is a actually pretty good replacement in the wings. That of the four gutter runners, this is the one that had like that was the most replaceable.
Yeah.
Well, Goblin Trashmaster, I guess. But,
right.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's the double kill.
Could it be you? Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's survivable. But like, so how this actually went down. So the Skaven chose to kick, and we see the first couple of chore turns. They're basically just like they're doing the chore stuff. They're doing their hits. They get a couple KOs. They get the ball set up behind the midfield line. They got some like screening, and they've got some pieces like scouting forward to try to apply pressure. I'm sorry, like to try to claim ground. And Skaven, they basically spend turn 1 just getting in the way, and then turn 2 sneaking around behind. The chores put together a bit of a shoddy cage. Because they had like the hobgoblins had been based up, and so with the shoddy cage, Triform Cutter heads in, gets the dodge. Dauntless fails. It would have made it a 1 die. That isn't re-rolled. I might have considered doing so, particularly considering which happens next, which is it's a red die double push that's rolled. And because the ball carrier is sure hands, sure ball's not going to do anything. That's then re-rolled. I feel like if you're committing a reroll to this, you do it on Dauntless. And they didn't. They reroll. It's a push to skull. Skull's chosen. Down he goes. Armor break, injury, death. And a carrier offers up the exact same death. In the sense that there's like that extra die that's like irrelevant on the death. That was actually the same as well.
Oh wow!
Like, no, this is what was intended.
Yeah.
So there goes Triform Cutter killing himself on turn 3.
Wow.
Turn 4, the Chores are able to consolidate themselves, and Hypnosis just like gives up on pressuring the ball. The three remaining gutter runners, they scatter to different corners of the field so they can't all be trapped together, and the Blitzers try to just like eat around the edges of the dwarf formation. Quick doesn't push up too fast up the field. He wants to get a bunch of hits on, like, say, those rats, the linemen are left behind that can't escape, the Blitzers. He fouls Goblin Piledriver out of the match. But does mean he leaves himself. They actually have to make a GFI, this ball carrier, on turns 8 to score, which I think was a bit of a risk that he didn't need to get into. But that said, he had the reroll. He wasn't required to roll any dice beforehand, and he doesn't even need to use it to get in there.
Yeah.
I just feel like with 7 ball carrier and like the manpower advantage he'd built up, he had 7 rats off the field. Like, you could have gotten within range. But that's me nitpicking a guy who just won 2-1. So
yeah,
I'll back. He's fine. For turn 8, there's three KO'd line rats. 2 of them come back. One's asleep. He actually ends up sleeping through the halftime wake-up rolls as well. But before that, there's a 1-turn attempt, which fails when there's a 1 and a 2 on the 1 3+ check required. The dodge into 2 tackle zones to try to get to the line. So the thing where, like, normally I'd say for chores, like, it's like there's like the sheer amount of tackle that would be a real problem for the 1 turn, because it means that you don't get dodge on any of them.
Right.
He actually had the reroll available, so he got the 1. He uses that to get the 2, so it didn't matter the tackle. What mattered was that he could force 3+ by still having 11 people on the field.
Oh.
It's a 12-man team, because at that point there's only 1 removal. I think it was the blocker that had gone out with the niggle. Snucks the Hobgoblin, goes out on turn 8, like some LOS hit, like an LOS hit, but it doesn't matter for the setup at the rear.
Yeah.
Going into the second half, it's therefore 1-0 Ace Trucking Co. And the casualties on the rats are basically all in at this point. The only thing remaining is that M&G on that Scuzzback Marauders, that lineman. It's less bad for him. He takes some more KOs, but like the damage is baked in. Second half, turn 9. Goblin Warchief is trying to do some damage as the Soul Blitzer. He ends up basing a piece while he's 2 squares away from the sideline, which means he's pushed to be 1 square away from the sideline. Which means that you then see Mace, second son of Ace, the beautiful Frenzy Hobgoblin, come up and just shove him out of bounds.
Yeah, which, to be fair, nobody's expecting that Hobgoblin to have Frenzy, so...
Yeah. But it means that there's no killer on the field for the...
Yeah.
Turn 10, Tim Nielsen decides, well, I got to try to score then. I'm going to potato. Goblin Trash Master's given the ball. He's sent running towards the end zone on his own. He's just barely in range of Secretariat, who break tackle 3 GFIs.
Oh my gosh.
Hits it's actually a 3 die because there was a Hobgoblin that could move 6 to base. That Goblin Trash Master is put on the ground, KO, balls on the ground, but there's no recovery option for the Chores. They put everything they had in just to get him down, which means that Grumgully the Generous can go scoop it up. He tries to run away and pass it to Murderous Redcap, but they fail to catch. The reroll was spent on a GFI by the Skaven, and now they're all gone. So he's feeling pretty precarious.
Oh, wow.
But the Chorfs can't get to the ball that's lying next to Murderous Redcap. This is back in the Skaven half of the field. Like he was throwing backwards.
Oh, interesting.
So Murderous Redcap eventually does get it up and tries to hide. The Lesser Bull Centaur is then sent after him, but can't get him down. And so then you see the Skaven do their thing where they move the ball like most of the length of the field in one turn. Jeez. And we then have Grumgully the Generous be given back the ball and go to stand near the end zone. There's another 3 GFI blitz available to Secretariat, and he tries it, but second GFI is snaked. So Grumgully just walks it in on turn 14.
Oh, wow.
Only to do that turn. And that's the 1-1. And so then there's a 3-turn attempt by the Chorfs.
Oh, man.
And they just don't have enough to defend against it.
I see. Yeah.
Platform Cutter's dead, and Goblin Trash Master took a KO and doesn't recover. So there's no there's no wrestle strip ball available. And the line hits are good. There's just like KOs coming out of that, and that one Scuzzback Marauder casualty. So he just doesn't have the material to defend. He instead actually focuses on trying to do damage to Ace Trucking Co. I think 1 just to do it. And then 2, he was fouling with some gutter runners to try
get them out of there.
I think.
Yeah.
Apo goes to keep Hefe, the junior Bull Centaur, from taking agility bust.
Interesting.
And then during that, you see Secretariat take his badly hurt, but it doesn't really matter. The actual difficulties in scoring, which don't keep him from scoring, but the actual difficulty comes from, so there's a misclicked dwarf dodge in an attempt to move up the field before anything else has happened.
Oh no.
And it's just had to be re-rolled, and he makes it. But then the ball carrier does a GFI.
Oh no. Doesn't have it.
Fails.
Yeah.
And basically they end up having to pick it up with a Chorf blocker and run it in, which I'm sure did not be good.
Yeah.
But it happens. So yeah, it was really just self-inflicted. Failed dodge needed to be re-rolled, meant the re-roll was gone, meant the GFI couldn't be re-rolled, which meant the Hobgoblin couldn't get it in, and just a mess.
Yeah.
But a crazy match.
Yeah.
And that niggled blocker has already been replaced.
Yeah, that makes sense. Might as well, if you have the money for it, which seems like they do.
Yeah, it's a rookie. Why be without it for the match? Why start developing it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a rough one, especially if you start going toe to toe with claw teams. Man, yeah, that's a lot different than I thought it would all come down to.
I'd assume that the one from Goblins of deck would be the natural 1 turn.
Yeah.
So he didn't get it done, but they managed to pull it out.
Yeah.
In the second.
Yeah. Huh. But yeah, unfortunate. Fortunate for whoever's they're playing next.
Yeah.
Missing both Pile Driver and obviously Triform Cutter for the rest of the season, but yeah.
He, I believe, has already been replaced, Triform Cutter.
Hmm.
But I think maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll
Maybe
look at it. I'm curious
we'll see.
what the name will be. Cool. All right. Let's move on to our next match. Oh, come on. There we go. Integrity Farmers versus Talk Show Terror. Get that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one, a lot of scoring.
Yeah. Oh, True Blue just showed up right in time to smack talk Orpher.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's not smack talk. That's the facts.
Yeah. But yeah, so this match. Yeah, so I said one thing to note on this is the first appearance of True Blue's just purchased Magician Shop.
Oh.
So we saw 2 wizards in this game.
Oh.
And I believe his reasoning being that like he's got a lot of home games and it's like he can take better advantage of it than other teams.
Yep.
And he's like high enough in team value that like some teams that could be competitive with it, which is buy the wizard anyways. So this way at least he gets one too.
Yep. I think that makes a lot of sense for high elves in general. Over the long run, they become very expensive.
And yeah, so we've got 2 clips for this, which we'll do one brief break, then the second one, and it's going to be the 2 wizards. So,
All right, let's see the first one.
Yeah.
I'm down 3 players. Oh, fuck it. It's for fun.
So yeah, the story of this one is really that scatter at the end.
Yeah. Well, and the injury on
The
just
injury.
Yeah.
Injury was nice.
Yeah.
But it's like this ball maybe doesn't get recovered if it scatters somewhere else.
Right.
And we don't have the full recovery because it took him a while. He was very careful in setting up, but eventually he sweeps in, gets it up, and is able to swing the ball around to the right and much of his team, and he gets the touchdown off of this.
Wow. Yeah. Very nice.
And yeah, we can see the second wizard maybe.
Thing, dude. Well, you're also really good at placing it so that way people can't get easy hits back. And that's the wizard! Holy shit, that's the wizard!
Yeah. So
Holy shit, that is the wizard.
Yeah. So yeah, and so I guess in the contrast I'd make here is, as we see, both of them happen on a necro drive. That the high elves use it to take the ball, turn them over, get the ball, score. Necro used it to advance up the field, and it worked. They scored there.
Yeah.
But it's that they didn't get as much out of it as the high elves because the high elves could hold deep, pass up long. There wasn't going to be the opportunity to turn them over in the same way. The final score we see is Necro scores on turn 8, and then high elves 1 turn. So that's 2-1 them going to second half. Then it's 1-1 each way.
Yeah. And we mentioned this up top with the RIP 3B section or segment. Flesh Golem taking or dying, and for the high elves, they lost alignment. They do also lose Pimp Butters for a week, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that it's a nice piece, but that's survivable. And frankly, if you're carrying a armor busted niggled piece, you are accepting the fact that this piece will not always be in the game.
Right, that's got to be a no Apo rights piece, I would think. But yeah, all in all, a really nice win as we see True Blue and the Integrity Farmers continue their rise to the top.
Yeah.
Wow, and just notice this: the block succeeded They only succeeded 19 blocks to 32, and
They just kept dodging away.
Yep. So, all right.
Yeah, I mean, so if you look at 19, that's like 3 LOS hits and then like 16 turns of blitz of like blitzing something, right?
Right.
And I'm sure it
Pretty
wasn't
much.
precisely that, but
Yeah.
it's like that's basically what we're talking about here.
Yeah, they were very. So that their dodge dice are finally working for them after the first couple weeks. Cool. All right. Yeah, and tough loss for Taksha Terra though. Scoring 2 touchdowns isn't too shabby, but yeah, the Wizard ended up being the difference there. Okay, moving on to Scurry Squad and Console, taking it over Warpstone and Rock and Roll. And this is one I think we both thought could be a potential for the Underworld to get back into things.
Yeah.
Scurry Squad coming into this with quite a bit of damage from their previous match. And no, it was not to be. I think this felt like a mirror match. I watched a little bit of this. This looked like a mirror match their match before, where it was over before they could even start doing things. Mm-hmm. They were just taking too many removals. Hurt Cobain, that death came in sometime in the first quarter. It's very early on, and yeah, things just fell apart on defense early on as far as removal numbers, and they just couldn't make up the difference. They couldn't get obviously couldn't make their one turn happen, and it just was an uphill fight from the beginning, which is exactly what you don't want for Underworld.
Yeah,
especially if you're losing Hurt Cobain in the first 2 to 3 turns. I don't remember what turn it was, but that's one half of your like killing power, or at least killing power that you can really count on. You don't count on the troll. You just like a removal here or there.
Well, and it's the better one for this match, where I think 2 heads to make sure you have more mobility on him is probably better than Claw against a team without that much AV8.
Yeah. Yep. Thankfully it wasn't their only tackle piece. Like, Cutney Love is in a good spot for holding up the team for a little bit, but yeah, we'll need a replacement blitzer to come in soon.
True Blue point out that Hero's defense for most of the season has been cage diving with Hurt Cobain, which is right. It's.
I wonder if that's where the death came in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I missed it when I watched the stream, and when I came back, Hero was pretty despondent about it, which I don't blame.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see, does Diedback Daryl actually get fired?
I kind of making the assumption there that he does. I know that Hero said he really likes that piece.
Right.
So, but we'll see. That's a tough piece to run around with a niggle like that, because he's going to be based up most likely if you're doing Frenzy. Yeah,
Frenzy means you get based up, and the linemen are one of those things where you have to kind of accept that they're going to take some hits.
Yeah. But yeah, nice win for Scurry Squad and their teams. I mean, nobody was sad for the gutter runner that. Wait, did they have it? No, they didn't have a gutter runner. They had a storm vermin that perished. That was a very nice storm vermin. Claw palm. But now they have a strength up gutter runner. So
yeah,
I think all the tiers, if there were any, have completely dried up for this team, and they're making their own luck, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, you wish you still had that Storm Vermin, which was Claw, Mighty Blow, Jump Up, Piloting on Horns.
Jeez. Yeah.
Just like a really nasty piece. You wish you still had that. That said, Gutter Runners are like kind of the stars of the team. So, and what a beautiful piece to get a strength up on. Oh my
gosh,
right?
Yeah.
That one who's going to be cage diving in.
Yep. Yeah, let's just got to get some more pieces around it. But, I mean, yeah, I think they're going to be in a good spot. We'll see who they're up against next week. All right, next match we've got is dead and scoring it, losing 1-0 to Broken Bone Battalion. This was a match that I took a look at. This was something else. With elves and very bashy elves and obviously bashy undead, both getting a bribe from the start, right? You have the referee rest area, which is that new? Or
Nope, that's been around.
Okay. I definitely noticed it in this match because the pro elves came right out of the gate fouling.
He buys so many bribes that you don't always notice that he got one for free.
Oh, that's because he had two. What I noticed was, why are these pro elves? Why do they have a bribe? Because I did not remember them getting the TV advantage here, and I had forgotten about the stadium. So they came out the gate. Undead chose to kick to them, and they came out of the gate like fouling mummies and stuff, which I thought was good on them. But it set the tone. I think Undead were planning for that quick elf touchdown that we always like to see as the bash team when you're up against agility. You want to get them to score quick so you can 2-1 grind them out. But this would not be the case, as we'll see. The pro elves were more than happy to bash and even do a little bit of scrumming with the undead. In fact, the whole first quarter, there was really not that much damage. There's a KO for each, and then one Kaz that Oswald managed to get on. It was the badly hurt on Wannabe War Dancer, who was placed a little precariously, but that's because they wanted to foul. So they did a blitz, got a knockdown, and left Wannabe kind of in the open a little bit. Again, to keep fouling and pressing that advantage. That's what it took the badly hurt. So first quarter, not much happening. Second quarter starts out with a little bit of a bang where things start to get scrummy. The elves have moved down all the way towards the end zone, but we're pretty content to like stalling out there, so the undead move towards that way. And I thought that would be it, just like the starting of based up elves and that sort of thing would push them into scoring, and it didn't. They really just like hunkered down and punched back, which resulted in the badly hurt on Vethia. Is that how we're saying that? Or Vethia? The white
Vita?
That is
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. The white that has been sitting at 74 of 76 for many, many matches at this point. That takes a badly hurt, and so we'll have to wait till next week for that. And I think that emboldened the pro ops to really, really stall things out, and that gets us to turn 6, which I have a little video for. We're gonna watch, and then I'll talk about it. But we're basically in the scrum. Pro elves are they formed a wall, and they're just waiting for the whatever the counter is from the undead. Yep. So that's a way to bite it, and it's the second one second self-inflicted death of the week, because Triform Cutter had that happen too. Well, a little different. But I thought this was an interesting play, because when I was looking at it, and I don't know if you can see it from the start of that, but I thought the wrestle agility up ghoul had a path in to attack the ball. It was a 1 die, but they could have done it with either GFI or I think two plus dodges.
So this would have been swinging around towards where basically is this the one on the top or the bottom from our perspective?
This would be from the
closer to the camera or further from the camera?
Closer to the camera.
Okay, so like he would have swung around like the left side of the field. Around back.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're watching it from the undead perspective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I'll play it again and we'll just see it. And I'll just talk over it. But yeah, so like from where it's at, because this is just a straight line of pro ops here. You can cut around the corner and with movement 7
yeah, it's 1 GFI. And actually, if you move the mummy first, you can. Yeah, you can. If you could cut the corner where the mummy is.
Yeah. That's why I was like, oh, that's a weird.
Which is better because he's got the same 2+ and he's got dodge.
Yeah.
So you do that, and it's 1 in 36. You get a 1 die on this, and you're looking for. I mean, the downside of it is, let's say you get him down.
Yeah,
what
you don't.
Then? What then?
Right.
One of the 4 elves in the area goes and picks it up.
Yeah. My thought is, yeah, I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with not doing it. My thought is the pro elves seem way too comfortable on turn 6 sitting there. I've got fast pieces. Why don't I like try to force them to at least score on their turn 6?
Put some pressure on it so they're not just like chilling.
Yeah, exactly. Or I guess it would be their turns. Yeah, but still, you would give 2 turns back to if I'm the undead, 2 turns back to me. But as it stands, I mean, I don't think you're anticipating what ended up happening, which I think what they were trying to do there with the wrestle piece is try to wrestle that strength up, accident prone Andy down so they could get a foul in. I think that's what the thinking was there because they still
that's why the reroll, because that reroll on that first hit was pretty greedy.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's not like a damage dealing piece, right? But if you're saying, well, the damage is going to be the foul that's going to come in, then I see the logic.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Which,
that is a nice piece, right?
It is so
Lodge,
nice.
stab, guard, and strength up, which they just like the guard and the strength up work together so beautifully.
Yeah, which I think had already been happening for that drive and been pretty frustrating to deal with, especially too. I didn't quite call this out, but with Vethia, or however we're saying that, with the white that is badly hurt, that's the only tackle piece. It's
definitely not Vethia, but because the I is before the TH, not after it. But.
Wait, the I is I is before the TH. Yes, is it?
Sorry.
Well, we can have maybe we can have Practical Snow join us and give us the full thing. But that was the only tackle piece they had. So all these blodge and sidestep pieces are super annoying. So like the only way you're gonna get them reliably is probably through a foul. So
with Vetha out of the match, right?
Yes, yeah. As a result of that whole turn, which again I think like the reason I showed that is like that seemed to like set the tone for the rest of the match. That was their ball carrier, right, for the undead. So now they have to carry on a different ghoul.
That's convenient. That way they can level that ghoul faster. Like presumably that'll be the plan, right? You give it to Bone Stalker, and then you get Bone Stalker to level 16 so that he can have Sure Hands.
Yes.
I'm sorry, level 3, but right. 16 SPP.
Yeah. So obviously, as a result of that, the elves were able to like hold off until turn 8 and score their touchdown. Obviously, that's the score of the game, but how did things go in the second half? at halftime, each of the teams were down 3, but as you can see, the undead have the much bigger bench. Cinnabad is one of those. He's been tossed. And then the 2 casualties, the badly hurt and the death, and then for the elves, a casualty and 2 KOs. And for the third quarter, not much happens. I think the undead were trying to get a numbers advantage going at some way, somehow. They are like very clumped up, caged on the right and in the middle of the pitch. They kind of go back and forth between those two, but don't really press up the field, which ends up being a problem in the third quarter. They haven't really removed any elves. The elves are just screening off, and it ends up that the undead have to do a turn 15 based cage with their ball carrier 2 GFIs away from scoring. They do a dodge on the other ghoul to try to get them in scoring range. I mix it. I don't remember exactly which ghoul is carrying. I think it is Bone Collector is carrying. And they move Bone Stalker out, but fails the first dodge. So they re-roll. It was from out of tackle. They use their last re-roll to get Bone Stalker in scoring range. But he was mostly like trying to mark up and keep this cage together so that the ball doesn't get sacked. And this is actually where Superbase made a little bit of a mistake. They blitzed in with one of their blitzers, and then moved into a spot they realized they didn't want to be because of what like some hits, or I can't quite remember what they were trying for, but they didn't want to be in the spot that they just moved in base contact with. They try to dodge out and they snake it. It's a KO, which they appo into a stun, I suppose, to keep a body somewhere in the screen, but it's not. It doesn't really stop the undead from clearing a path. They have a path with the ball carrier. However, they take Bone Collector and just try to run it, figuring, I guess, 2 2+ better than 1 3+. Again, they don't have a reroll. The 3+ would be the handoff to Bone Stalker, but instead they go for the 2 2+ and they fail the second one. So, falling at the goal line and I think stunning themselves in the process. So it was pretty tragic. This very easily, even with the death of Tomb Robber and what are we saying? With the tackle White being out.
I'm saying Vitha.
Vitha. With Vitha being out pretty much 3/4 of the match. I think the undead made a good show of it, but the on their offense, like, just got kind of caught in the weeds by some pretty good elf screening, which we've all been there. It sucks when you can't get the armor breaks. You need to kind of crack that open. And there we have it.
Yeah.
So good win for Broken Bone Battalion. They lived up to their namesake by just, like, again, punching back. Same amount of blocks as the undead. And less armor breaks, but I would say some more impactful ones for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, moving on. Rathanuffle versus the Farm Animals Mark II. Oh man.
Yeah, this is just we talked about it some before, but those 2 dead warriors is just such a tragedy.
Yeah.
They were really nicely put together. That block guard, and just and that's after we have Horse Mark III there, who is thankfully nicely did get the MVP, so he's close to a level. That was a block. Horse Mark II was a block piece. So we have one original warrior left standing on this team halfway into the season.
Yeah.
And obviously we got that agility bust on Chicken Mark I, but you can live with that.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, that's crushing.
Yeah. Do we know? I guess we don't know what the Farmer Mark I took.
No, we do know it's a normal.
Okay.
That was a normal roll, and we were in his Chabsu was saying that he expects to take Stand Firm,
Okay.
So I expect that's what we'll see, but it has not actually been selected in the client.
I wonder if you'd consider Juggernaut.
He specifically rejected that.
Whoa, interesting.
He's leaning into the tentacles more than the Mighty Blow Claw.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. That I guess is part of the whole decision, right?
Once you went strength up, you're committing that's what tentacles are what matters.
Yeah.
If you were to take Juggernaut, like to make him a blitzer, you just would take a block.
Yeah, and he already is going to get 3-die blitzes pretty much on his own. I mean, on his own against any strength 3 player.
Yeah.
So if Stand Firm makes a lot of sense, especially with the frenzy. It's a nice compliment if you get near the sideline.
Yeah.
But yeah, very tough loss for them. Wrath and Nuffle didn't come out of this unscathed. I think that the tackle Mighty Blow Beastman taking a niggling injury is not exactly what you want to see for that.
No.
That was I guess you have your other blitzer, but...
yeah, and he's great. But it would be nice to have two, particularly since he's playing, I believe, the Dark Elves this week. Just having it gone this week is bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll be an interesting match with Dark Elves being beat up. Hey, Colin. Yeah, finally found your hitting. It definitely has come through in this match. In the Chorf mirror, and you guys mirrored each other in blocks, but armor breaks in your favor there.
Yeah.
So yeah, nice win. Nice to make this a win too. Like even with the removals and stuff. Sometimes those bash matches can get kind of clogged down or
very
down.
Easily end up in ties.
Yeah. So yeah, nice win for sure. And it was next to last match of the week, which is Romanian Rebels versus REBBL Rage Quit. And I just saw a notification for a match that's being played right now.
Yeah, we're seeing... we'll talk about when that match comes up. As a preview.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure you saw it. Romanian Rebels. Yeah.
Two big loss of She Who Must Be Obeyed. Forlorn Hope 2 is fired, like effectively dead. Festal out for a game. I believe Festal was where the Appa went. That was I think that may have been I believe a death that was turned into MNG. Gotcha. And that one and the Sin Eater's death were both in the first 2 turns of the game. She Must Be Obeyed took a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it was just brutal match. Just damage pointing on Orifer. And another thing I point out is 0% ball possession. You never got to hold on to the ball for a full turn.
See, when you said that for a minute, I was like, how did Arabi do that and score a touchdown? Because that's usually Arabi's stat. 0% ball possession. So Arabi, I actually streamed this, and if I'm recalling, he did not score on his drive, he scored on Orfer's drive. Because Orfer was just not able to make the touchdown happen. Oh my gosh, so broken, yeah.
And basically he hit the point where like Arabi had so many more pieces on the field that even he was willing to move the ball up the field. It was a little like stop and start because there was like obviously there was like value with the ball carrier this game. We had all of the Arabi hits like that we expect. But yeah, he managed to get that touchdown. Yeah,
on DTO, who ended up taking the MVP as well.
Got a Kaz and got a touchdown, so huge match there.
Yeah.
Now he's got Mighty Blow, as one would expect.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so gotta be feeling pretty good because was missing his star blocker for this match, and hadn't been making, as much waves in the removal department as some were expecting, including ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
But this game, I mean, wow. Even for the next match, I mean, this has, I think, effects throughout the rest of the season, right?
Yes, everyone who wanted to have a better shot at, winning the div or going to playoffs has to love this result. Yeah. It's a loss for a division leader and one really important piece dead. And then two more that were like good pieces gone. A next week game with an MNG of a really important piece.
Yeah.
Orpher, I think, can still win the division. I think that's still entirely possible, but it makes it harder. It makes it less likely.
Yeah, because now you have two projects. Well, a Blitzer out of the box is not a project, I guess.
Yeah, Blitzer out of the block you can live with. It's you worry about the second Witch Elf.
Yeah, and do they have Quix's team to play? Do they still have to play Ace Chuck and Go?
I think maybe not.
I think they played the Orcs.
I think they got to play the Orcs.
Yeah.
I'll check them.
Yeah. But yeah. I like that the Tryhard got the MVP and then also got strength up. That's such on brand. I guess that's a little bit of a silver lining there. Strength up lineman.
They will play them week 13.
Ooh.
So that's still in their future. As is
Cullen? They still have to play
Cullen was this week. And in fact, played.
Yeah.
And then they also have the other Chaos.
Oh wow. Okay.
So a lot of damage in their future. So potential damage in their future. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I think when we looked at this, we were not expecting it to go like this.
I mean, it's always a risk against Arabi, but Orpher seemed like he might have been able to stand up to it better than this.
Sneaky Cullen. Okay. All right. See how it is.
I've seen the result.
You've seen it? Oh, damn it. All right. Well, let's not spoil it for the recap or whatever.
Sure. But so big loss. Huge game.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. This match was silly. This match was really silly. What I'll say is the first couple turns, like, I was just like, all right, this is it. That's when the kickoff event was a rock that stunned Jotunheim Jambalaya. And then Boomer died to the Blitz off the start, which was fine. I didn't care because that's a good use of Boomer. Yeah, it was a good use. Better than him throwing the bomb. Yeah, he soaked the Blitz from, I think it was Thomas Colby came in, or maybe Arthur. One of them came in and blitzed him, and Boomer was on the line. So I was like, sweet, he's not coming deep. And then Fez comes in and does what I was like kind of hoping, which was like get up to, I'm doing Protect 5, whatever. And he like comes all the way up to where I have everybody. I'm like, perfect, I'll be able to pounce all over him, get him out of here, probably. He hits Jotunheim Jambalaya, who's on the ground, and badly hurts him. Yeah. I was like, oh. And then Borat Brander, I think it was on turn 2, takes a blitz and dies. Or maybe even just like a punch and dies. And you're over there cackling on my stream about, this is beautiful. And I'm like, all right, full unlock of don't give a damn. Just going to put it on everything. And I think that actually helped a little bit. Or just my dice just came back around. I would say like there were so many breaks for all of these blocks, as you can kind of see by the percentage, but I wasn't directing the hits in the first bit. Once I started getting a handle on it and started being able to do some counter hits, those breaks started coming back for me. And it became kind of a blur. They were able to score, I think, relatively easily, but I had done so much damage to that point that it forced them to score probably quicker than they wanted to, and then I was able to get a counter score. I think it was just able to get 2 turns to counter score, but still, that was enough to pull something out just barely, I think. And then the second half was just grinding them down. Didn't get to Finn Colby. I think I tried a few times, found him a few times, and nothing doing there. But it was fun to finally have my glass cannon shooting some cannonballs instead of just crumbling apart. It just kind of did both. So it was a fun match.
Yeah.
And nothing too tragic on either end. I don't mind, obviously, Bort Brander's really awkward piece to have. I kind of hated it. But now,
Frig Noonan's being gone is a shame, but that's livable.
Yeah. Where was my MVP? Oh, yeah, it was on the off, which was cool.
Yeah. Wrong off, but still pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought I got an off a TD, or no? Did I try it and it failed? I don't remember. It's kind of a blur, but okay. So that's the week. Let's look at our leaderboard. It's a very dramatic line at the top there. Just like up for Romanian Rebels, and then
Yeah. Yep. So we have we've got all but a tie for first.
Yeah.
That's kind of the big news, and bit of a differentiation in the middle here. Seems like there's 3 teams below that are like really pushing at them, and then there's like a bigger pack that's less so.
Yeah, and it's pretty much all the bash teams, and hybrid teams. It's
we see Ace Trucking Co. working their way up from obviously starting in last place.
Yeah. And poor Underworld.
Yeah.
Just at the bottom there. But yeah, we've still got our top 3 teams being all 3 Elf.
Then
teams.
two of the Skaven.
2 of the Skaven.
And then that gap. So and I would expect to see Ace Trucking Co. continue to move up. But I think catching the lead is going to be, the top 4 is going to be tough.
Yeah.
There's just too much in the way.
Yeah. Though, could squeak into 4th place.
That's not impossible, but it's going to be it's going to be some work.
They're going to need to not go through a cold stretch like Robbie was with their armor breaks or injury dice, I should say.
Yeah. We for someone we talked about as not necessarily trying to win games, Robbie was very respectfully placed on this.
Yep. Yeah, and I think Practical Snow was pointing out that people were giving him grief at the start of the season because that was his, I think, only win so far was against a Robbie at the start, and everyone's like, well, everybody's going to get their Robbie win. Just how do you come out of there from damage? And it's like, well, maybe not everybody's going to come through a Robbie and win. And I think everyone's on notice for that for both Chorf teams, and it's gonna be a gauntlet. Cool. All right, well, let's look at week 7, and so it sounds like we've got 2 matches we won't have to dive too deep into, and this is one of them, right?
Yep, this one is currently being played.
480 team differential.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this assumes that the Blitzer is replaced.
Oh, yeah.
On the Underworld team, but that the lineman is not.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what happened. So, this could be different, but there's going to be a lot of, inducement money coming to Hiroto Sukara, which means you get the Wizard and the Apothecary and, maybe a star player, maybe Glart.
Yeah, I would think Glart for this, for sure. And I don't think you can afford anything else. Maybe Boomer to take some hits. Maybe. I might be doing my math wrong on that. I think Glart's 210 and Boomer's 60, so you can do it with a Wizard and a Babe.
Right. If you want the second Apothecary, you got to give up Boomer instead of in which case you do the Apothecary instead of the Babe and Boomer.
I keep saying Boomer, but it is a Bama Dribble Snot.
Sure.
But which is not as given that piece does not have armor 9, maybe not as attractive as an extra Apo. So yeah, we'll see the results of this and cover that in next week's recap. Best of luck to the Underworld, and yeah, we'll see if Ace Trucking Co. continue going up.
Yep.
Talk Show Terror versus Broken Bone Battalion. This one could be interesting. Necro been kind of plummeting since their early rise. Broken Bone Battalion has been looking real sharp and has a shot at taking the division, right?
Yeah. They're just they're same number of like points, one touchdown differential behind. So it's very much in the cards. Very possible for them. I'll say this is another match where there's a like assumed piece purchase that I assume that we'll see a replacement Flesh Golem or Talk Show Terrell. That given that if they don't do that, they'll have 170k in the treasury.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. So yeah, I assume we'll see that.
Especially because you got regen. So against this elf team, which has one mighty blow that's not attached to block, I think.
You're not worried about it being killed.
No.
Or keeping around a ton of money.
For any sort of replacement. Yeah. So things can happen. Obviously, we saw it, but technically that was self-inflicted with Tomb Robber.
Yeah.
So super. Yeah, we'll see. Did you all already play True Blue? Is that why you're saying that? You guys played and you won? I don't know what Broken Bones one loss was. I know it wasn't me. It would have been the first game of the season, so I think it might have been True Blue, actually.
What was the question here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one thing that Super Base lost was, yeah, against True Blue. That's why True Blue's talking shit.
Well, rightfully so. You win the match. Yeah. So with 90k, you think Broken Bone gets another bribe for good luck's sake? Since it worked out for him. It actually didn't do anything other than maybe make the undead a little cranky. Yeah, but it didn't result in any removals.
Yeah. I would do either an apothecary if you just want to spend it. But I'd spend 10k for the apothecary or I'd spend 60k for the wizard. Depending on how scared you are of taking it.
Wizard. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, wizard could be good. I wonder. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but if you want to keep winning, that would be a good way to do that.
Yeah, that would be the argument for it, right? It's like now is the time to push because you have that shot. Of course, being in first place isn't that much better than being in second place. They both go to playoffs.
That's true. I don't know how seeding works, but yeah.
I don't think Div 3 gets such attractive seeding being at at the top. It's not like winning Div 1 where you get you'll get a bye.
Oh, yeah. Right. But yeah, I can see them winning this match, but I can also see their luck running out with the scrappy bashy game. But I don't know. We've said that about Pro Elves before last season. And nobody seemed to be able to touch Clown Thulu's Pro Elves.
Yeah, so as True Blue's saying that, first place, you probably get a home game and maybe a little bit worse first round opponent, but I don't think it's not going to be by much.
Yeah. I've never... Yeah.
And, I say nice thing for Necro, you got 3 tackle pieces, 2 of them have Mighty Blow.
Yep. Yeah, they're equipped. They're a little bit better equipped to deal with this than the Undead, which Broken Bone just came through.
Yeah.
In that, not all tackle hopes rely on one piece.
Yeah.
So, this should be fun.
Just as another reason not to do the bribe, because you can't just be like, well, I'm going to foul out the one thing that scares me.
Yeah. Cool. Next up is Goblins on Deck versus the Farm Animals Mark II.
As you can see, we do indeed have a new gutter runner on Goblins on Deck.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
jeez. I don't know why I guess there's so many Magic the Gathering Goblin types to pull from. But yeah, so they're still getting, is that 150, 160?
160.
Yeah.
That looks like a wizard to me, but
he
wants, particularly because this chaos team, is not that scary right now.
No, they're not that scary. They don't have much guard.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So cage
Yeah,
diving.
yeah, they don't have much guard.
Yeah, sorry, thumb in the eye there, but given they just lost 2 pieces, but yeah, I think cage diving, even without Triform, you can start trying out Trashmaster, maybe. I don't know if I'd want to do that, but there are opportunities with that extra bit of movement. You can maybe come around. I don't know. Yeah, I'd do Wizard. Are they? Yeah, and are they gonna have They're gonna both be at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know Tim's taken bribes before, but I think he would take a wizard here.
I'll be curious to see.
Yeah. Without the bench, I don't know. Yeah, I think he's gonna take a wizard. So we'll see. And yeah, farm animals looking to bounce back. And we talked about the level for
2
Farmer
teams looking to
Mark
bounce
1.
back, really.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. 5th and 6th place. Yeah. Huh. So, yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be tough for the farm animals going forward. You start to see without those 2 warriors. Yeah, you just see like how thin they are on development a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good luck to them both. Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, True Blue's going to have to walk the gauntlet.
Yep, Integrity Farmers taking on Rebel Rage Quit. Yeah, this will be...
That'll be yellow-orange teams.
Yeah, we don't have too many of those. Yeah, this will be maybe a bit of a bounty bowl for Robbie here.
yeah, Robbie's gonna get himself, or at least the league, paid in this one.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, I think the High Elves do have a bit of speed here compared to the Dark Elves, right? I mean, with Captain Zoom and I just think they're going to be less interested in like pitch control bash than the Dark Elves might have been, at least to start. But though that sounded like it just went downhill from the very get-go.
Yeah. I would say, to True Blue, think about what you do if you end up with 90k in inducements, because I think it's entirely possible that we see another Hobgoblin get brought in.
Would that be oh yeah, they're 40. I was
Yeah.
thinking they're 50. Yeah.
And so you may decide you cannot afford to spend your 40k, but
Yeah.
just basically know what, because there is that actual trade-off, right? Of do you spend 10k to get Apothecary? I would want to know that going in.
Okay. Yeah, he's saying easy. It's going to be Apo. Yeah. I think that's very, very wise given what we just saw.
Show up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder what. I don't think a Robbie cares if you have 2 Apos, honestly.
No.
Robbie just does what he does. And they'll both have a wizard. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think he just bolts Captain Zoom turn 1?
Yeah.
I don't know what Robbie's wizard plan is.
I'm trying to remember. He had a wizard against. Didn't he have a wizard against Orifer? I think. I'm checking. Yeah, so he bought a wizard because he had 620 inducements against Orifer, the Romanian rebels. He got 3 bribes, a wizard, and the Merc blocker. That was level up to have Mighty Blow. And the wizard, I believe, used turn 2. Yeah, that's actually an interesting play. Turn 2, the witch elf had maneuvered around behind to threaten the ball carrier, and he's like, "The hell with that!" Bolts her. She hits the ground, stunned, and he just surrounds her. And that's when the fouling comes in, and that's what got her out.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised to see something similar where he sees, if Captain Zoom is not carefully protected, that Captain Zoom just eats a bolt, and as long as a Robbie in position to then control him and just foul.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Yeah, I see it. I can see it. So yeah. All right, yeah, that should be good. Do we have since True Blue, since you're in the chat, let us know if you have it scheduled when that's being played. Though I guess you stream your own games, but still curious.
Yep.
All right, and then we have a Skaven Mirror, Scurry Squad versus Squeaky Blinders.
The purple Skaven.
Yeah, finally. Well, I think we're already seeing who sees themselves as the better purple Skaven.
Which day, though?
Yeah. Unless you're saying that it already happened and we missed the results.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow, I guess.
But yeah, this will be interesting to see. One of these teams is doing better than the other. Curious if that holds up.
Yeah. Though that team being down on team value. It's interesting.
Yeah, well, they took some damage.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, 50k will not get them too much. I don't think they'll buy anything other than a babe here.
Saturday, we're being told, for that game.
Okay.
Console got to be a little disappointed that Zips Up, his beautiful strength up gutter runner, has to go against a vampire ball carrier.
Yeah.
Who has like everything that he would need to not to be inconvenient to go after.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I learned, strip ball not so good against those Skaven throwers.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, I do remember that from
God damn it. That was a fun move, and then I was like, oh, yeah.
So you had people in chat just like everyone being like, does he know?
Yeah. It's like
Sure.
everyone's just like holding their breath. Lark started chiming in. Hey. It was. Yeah, I don't know if I have done all of that I did to go after Shurians, but it was still. I like pressuring the ball, especially if a team's looking a little comfortable, and I think Zipsop is a piece to do that with. So, and Random Maximus was just kind of chilling all his pieces, but that sped things up for sure. So, yeah, I think probably we'll see Console win this, but I don't know, because mirror matches are always weird, I think. Because you go through all the motions of like knowing how to play against different races that you start to get into your own head against your own, I think. So this, I don't know, this to me could be anyone's. And, you know, Squeaky Blinders has the better pair of Storm Vermin too.
Yes, that's true. I just think there's so much that like there's a natural one turner on one of these teams.
Oh, right.
Not on the other one.
I totally.
And I think that's probably. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, unless Squeaky Blinders can somehow get in there and get Stanton out, then I do think Scurry Squad takes this.
Right. So it's gonna be to an extent on Arthur Colby II getting a shot at that natural one turner, and if he can just get him out, then you can see the win. Otherwise, it's hard for it to not be a tie, at least for Console.
Yep, totally. All right. Next up is Dead and Scoring It versus My Hell's Kitchen.
Yep.
And they are getting... Oh, yeah, we both get a bribe.
Yes.
Shame
that your dirty player just died.
Yeah, seriously. And they are getting 210 on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm curious what they go with. Because we kind of saw this against the Pro Elves. And they went... Zatek or whatever, Sinbad. Yeah, Sinbad.
Yeah.
And an extra bribe. I think they could do the same here.
Right. So yeah, Sinbad. That's the stab guy because he's 80k.
Yeah.
So you could do that, and you could do that in the second bribe. That's 180. You have 30. You probably can't. Don't spend that to get the Bloodweiser Babe when you're only at 80k.
So. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, no, I don't think they're. Yeah, well, they're already gonna get a bribe through the stadium. So, but yeah, you're right. They'll probably want a second bribe. I mean, we've seen them already do that. So.
Yeah, if you don't want the second bribe, you probably get like Zatek, which is 220, which is a block, break, tackle, juggernaut, regeneration, strip ball, strength 4 piece.
Yeah.
So it's like a really nice star play. It's like one of the really good star players, I think, for the price.
Yeah. And
that's 220. So you would spend 10k for him if you wanted him, but you have so many pieces already.
Yeah, it kind of clogs the field a bit.
I would do the second bribe, and then, that way that Baldric the Fairy Master can just foul as much as possible.
Yep.
And I think and the stab piece is good against AV7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Totally. You've got such a bench, you can keep him off the field until your drive, and then you just he's doing LOS like stabs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
3 hits.
Yeah. It's gonna be probably not too great. I'm missing a Ulf. I don't have any bench anymore. So yeah.
The missing the Ulf isn't the end of the world because you're gonna want to Elf this match, right?
Yeah,
but he is the one who has break tackle is the problem.
Yeah,
like
that's what
I'd rather the other Ulf be out because he's you're missing the mobile one. The Yeti is going to get surrounded and fouled.
Yep. Already made my peace.
Because that's the one thing that's like scary to the mummies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So we'll see. This one's being played tomorrow night. So, oh god, I don't want another AV7 fireball.
That's if you're willing to spend 40k. I don't know that I would be.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe.
Yeah. Stop giving ideas about fireballs. It's my nightmare.
And is this? Have you scheduled this?
Yeah, this is for tomorrow night at 9:00 Eastern.
Oh.
So, yeah, should be fun.
Are you streaming that?
I will probably stream it. Yes, because I'm in the I don't really care mode. So, I'll at least keep streaming as long as I keep winning. So, could be a very short streaming season for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. Let's move on. Or is that the last match?
There's one more match,
but
the match remaining has been played.
That's right.
So,
okay.
I'm very curious how this ends up. I mean, I know the result, but which I won't say. Yeah. But I'm curious to see. I haven't seen any of the detail on it.
Yeah, I want to go look at that after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matching team value, which we think is correct, right? Well, the Dark Ops
I
can't
just
find
checked
anything.
that. That's because that Blitzer was new Blitzer, the Mongrel was spot.
Yeah.
That took them to be equal in value.
Yep. Things happen. A certain coach is depressed. Okay. Now I think when True started this. Are you seeing details now?
I just learned it. We won't go into this one, but man,
I think I already know because True Blue started out the chat saying that a Romanian Rebels team died. So
I'll just go say they have a Romanian Rebels. As you can see, have that nice Mighty Blow Blitzer.
Oh,
don't got that anymore.
Oh my god,
it's dead.
Wow.
And also an agility bust on the already agility busted lineman. So that I guess you can live with. But that's
gonna keep that piece. Torador.
I mean, at this point, you might just be like,
I want to see that piece stay. I want to see an agility 2 Dark Elf lineman.
But dead on Galloth is.
Oh, that's really brutal.
Awful.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
So much.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Yep. Man,
so much.
Cullen really feeling his oats. Huh?
Since we're already talking about this, I'll just go say that the result of this is a tie.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, still, it's starting to become a slippery slope for the Dark Elves a little. So.
And that's that.
Yeah. Oops, that's the start. So that's the Week 6 recap. Went a few minutes longer than usual. That's because if you catch it at the top, we did a little special segment called RIP 3B, RIP 3B, which we went through all the deaths last week. We might have to, I don't know, we'll see if we have to do a Week 7 edition of that, if we continue to see pieces fall by the wayside. But yeah, this has been fun, as always, and looking forward to catching the rest of the week as it comes out.
Yep.
So for
Sumiel's. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to sign off.
I was going to say, I assume you'll send it over to Hiroto Sukara.
Yeah. We'll we'll do a little raid over there. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone who's catching the video on demand, and we'll catch you all next week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can get this. Hopefully it won't double skull. Well, rip me.
Oh! Oh well.
Robbie, I wonder what Robbie's gonna blitz.
Now the ball's
God damn.
Well,
Okay, I think we found our clip to the match. Alright, and Keith with the ball in scoring range.
yeah, but if this ends up doing some big damage,
Oh my god.
Fuck off! Holy shit! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
oh my gosh.
That's so awful. What a nice piece. Wow.
All right.